Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. How are y'all doing? It's been a minute since I've been here, mainly because I had exams going on and stuff, and you know, I had 6 classes, I got a job. It was a lot of shit to do. I didn't have time to record, unfortunately. But, you know, exams are done. So fucking here we are. I'm gonna start something kind of fun. I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be fun for me. I think it'll be fun for everyone else. We are doing a Superfan rewatches the MCU. And you gotta start it off with, we're watching in chronological order, of course. Yeah, so by Superfan, it means someone who has seen all of these movies, every movie in the MCU, multiple times, some more than others for sure. But I have definitely seen all of them more than once, I think. Until you start getting to like phase 4, I guess I haven't seen those as much, obviously, because they haven't been out as long. But even some of those, I think I've seen Shang-Chi twice. You know, I've seen No Way Home a few times. So like, even those ones I've seen multiple times. But you know, you get to some of these, like some of these movies I've seen over 10 times. You know, Endgame I've seen over 10 times. The Winter Soldier I've seen over 10 times. Civil War I've seen over 10 times. You know what I mean? Like, some of these I've watched way too many times. Others I haven't watched nearly as much. Like The Incredible Hulk, the second one. Like, I think I've seen that maybe twice. So some of these movies have been a very long time since I've seen. But again, I've seen so many of these movies. I live in this realm. Like, by Superfan, like I said, not only seen the movies, I read the comics. I got a bunch of them on the shelf. I watch videos about them. I talk about the characters. You understand? When I say Superfan, I don't mean Superfan of the MCU. I mean a Superfan of comics. That's what I am. So, you know, it's more fun to watch these as someone who's been a comic fan his whole life because, you know, my love of these characters didn't start with the MCU as it did for a lot of people. I was in love with them from the age of 1. Like, I have like a shirt and like a picture of me as a 1-year-old in my Spider-Man PJs with my Spider-Man carpet and my Batman stuffed animal and my Superman stuffed, like, you understand me? Like, this is my thing, okay? So like, I am definitely a super fan, and I'm really excited to do this because I love these movies, and this is where it started. This is where it started at all. The MCU, man. This movie is fantastic. Iron Man 1 is a fantastic movie. Not nostalgia fantastic, just concretely a fantastic movie. Great villain, great characters, you know, great action, great everything, honestly, great comedy. This is just flat out a fantastic movie, and I'm so hyped to watch it again. It's definitely been a few years since I've seen it, for sure. Like, I feel like with all of the movies, I could give you like bullet points of the main parts. Some of them you'll see me reciting the words probably, but not all of them. Definitely not all of them. There's most of them where like I could just give you the main points, but like I don't remember, you know, story beat by story beat what's gone on throughout all of it, whereas other ones I definitely have. So it'll be fun. I think we'll all be in for a fun time. You know, you just get to watch someone who loves these gush about them. So like, you know, everyone just gets to enjoy it together. It's like watching these again with your friends. You know what I mean? Like, you all love the movies already, and you just get to watch something you love. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be fun. I'm excited to watch this again. I love this movie. I saw this movie in theaters when I was 7 with my uncle. It was, I still have vivid memories of seeing it. It was awesome. I loved it. I'm excited to watch it again. In case you don't know, Patreon, full-length reaction, of course, to this movie as well. So if you're interested in that, check out the link in the description. Leave a comment for the algorithm and for me because you like me, I hope. And leave a like if you enjoyed the video. And without further ado, let's watch this movie.
No, you intimidate them.
Good God, you're a woman. I honestly couldn't have called that. I mean, I'd apologize, but isn't that what we're going for here? Having a hard time not looking at you now. Is that weird? Come on, it's okay, laugh. Hey!
Sir, I have a question to ask.
Yes, please.
Dude, already, like, the writing of this is so good. Like, he's so witty. Not just Robert Downey Jr., but, like, the writing of his character currently, like, it's just so well done. Just in this one scene. Like, it's kind of a stark difference of the dialogue in comparison to some of the movies they've been producing now. Like, it really is just black and white difference.
Son of a bitch! Wait, give me a gun! Here!
I love how genuine this feels, too. Like, you know, as a super fan, I'm not someone who's gonna blindly watch all of these, so like I will shit on them if needs be, because some of them deserve to be shit on, especially their more recent endeavors. And it's just watching like this one again just kind of makes me really sad about the state and the MCU is currently in, just because of like, you know, how serious the tone is already for this. Like, it's been 5 minutes and there's so much of it that's so well done, you know, and it's serious. Like, that was insane, right? Like, I remember watching this in theaters and like, you know, it starts off, you just got a terrorist attack and now he's currently captured. You know what I mean? Like, this is some serious shit.
Of serving with
Ah, yes. Rhodey. You look funny in this movie.
But if I were Tony, I would tell you how honored I feel and what a joy it is to receive this very...
Obadiah Stane is such a good villain for Tony. He is literally what Tony could have became, like, throughout this movie. And I didn't even realize, like, him accepting the speech is even another parallel. Because, like, it's putting Obadiah Stane in Tony Stark's shoes, where Tony Stark is supposed to be, showcasing where Tony Stark could have ended up had he not gone on the journey of this movie.
Christine Everhart, Vanity Fair magazine. Can I ask you a couple of questions?
She's cute. She's all right. Hi.
Hi.
I love that part.
Okay.
That feels so real. She's cute. She's all right. Okay.
You ever lose an hour of sleep your whole life?
I'm prepared to lose a few with you.
I remember seeing this in theaters, and my uncle putting his hand over my eyes jokingly, and then goes, "Don't tell your mom I brought you." I remember that. It was so funny to me. We both laughed about it, but it was just so funny that he did that. I was 7, to be fair, so, like, fair, I guess, you know? But I like how he covers my eyes for the kissing part, but, like, we watch Tony kill terrorists, and that's fine. I can watch people die, you know what I'm saying? But a little bit of kissing? No, sir.
After all these years, Tony still has you picking up the dry cleaning.
I do anything and everything that Mr. Stark requires, including occasionally taking out the trash. Will that be all?
Talk that shit, Pepper.
What's wrong with you?
What?
3 hours.
I got caught doing a piece for Vanity Fair.
For 3 hours. For 3 hours, you got me standing.
Waiting on you now. Let's go.
Such good writing, man. Such good writing. I got caught doing a piece for Vanity Fair. Hilarious. Yinsen the GOAT! Yinsen the GOAT. I think seeing that in my chest would definitely throw me into a panic attack. If I'm being honest. Like, I'd shit myself on the spot.
At a technical conference in Bern.
Don't remember.
No, you wouldn't. If I had been that drunk, I wouldn't have been able to stand, much less give a lecture on integrated circuits.
Where are we?
You know, I think truthfully, Tony goes on this journey throughout this movie, like changing who he is. Isn't, like, it is as much to do with him being captured by the terrorist group and going through this stuff and seeing what his weapons are used for sure. But I really think the true crux was Yinsen. Like, just everything Yinsen said, how Yinsen acted, like, is the pinnacle of how Tony should act. Like, Yinsen's not only so wise, but, like, someone who's so centered and balanced. And Tony is just not at all. So I really think, like, the main inspiration for him was Yinsen and not just being captured. Robert Downey Jr. plays this so well. Like, the fact that Tony's, like, keeping it in control, but he's so utterly shocked seeing all of his weaponry in the hands of these terrorists. You know what I mean? Like, he keeps the cool so well, but you can just visually see how shocked he actually is and how disgusted he is.
Try to do anything they're gonna kill me. You. Either way, and if they don't, I'll probably be dead in a week.
This is a very important week for you, isn't it?
You see what I mean? Like, Yinsen's the GOAT, dude. Yinsen is the absolute GOAT. Like, that just set the fire. You understand me? He really was, like, the gas to the flame of Tony Stark. You know what I mean? Like, Tony may have had all of the necessary ingredients, but Yinsen fucking baked that cake, dude. I'm telling you.
Okay. We don't need this.
It's also, I think, really dope how I think of this. Like, you know when people, like, hear about CEOs and stuff, and they're always like, the CEOs are the rich billionaires, but they don't do fucking jack shit. Whereas like Tony's the CEO of Stark Industries, and it just proves that he is actually the CEO. Like they need him because he is the one that creates everything. You know what I'm saying? Like he's actually worthy of being called that and being that rich. It's just funny to think about. Like, you know, people like, you know, even people say now, you know, like Elon Musk and stuff, they're like, truly how he doesn't do shit. It's just all the people he hires or Steve Jobs, you know, everyone he hired, blah, 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 blah. But it's just cool how Tony is actually capable of doing all of it, you know?
Got a family?
Yes. And I will see them when I leave here. And you, Stark?
So sad.
So you're a man who has everything. And nothing.
What a fucking line, dude. I swear to God. I love Yinsen so much, man. Just, you know what I mean, dude? Just so much. He's such a good character. That sound, dude. Good God. It's just so fucking iconic. But I love how good Yinsen actually is. He can clearly shoot at them. He just chose not to. Dude is just shooting into the rocks because he didn't want to kill him. Oh, dude, fucking chills. I love how this plays out like a horror movie, man. So good.
Thank you for saving me.
Don't waste it. Don't waste your life.
What a beautiful send-off to a beautiful character, man. Nothing like some good old-fashioned comeuppance, you know what I'm saying? That Iron Man theme, dude. Oh, it goes so tough. That's so tough. So tough. I still don't know how the American army managed to find him here. My only guess is that, like, there may have been reports of, like, terrorist hideout that got blown up, you know? That's, like, my only guess. And so, for whatever reason, the American troops sent people there.
I've been in captivity for 3 months. There are 2 things I want to do. I want an American cheeseburger. And the other...
That's enough of that.
...is not what you think. I want you to call for president. Hogan, drive. Cheeseburger.
I love how Pfeffer just immediately, that's enough of that. Hey, man, can't hate the player. Can't hate the player.
I came to realize that I have more to offer this world than just making things that blow up. And that is why, effective immediately, I am shutting down the weapons manufacturer division of Stark International.
Hilarious what a little brush with your own mortality can do for your for your perspective, you know? Although in fairness, if you just live life how you're supposed to live it, a brush with mortality should change nothing. Truthfully speaking. You should be introspective at all times. Because if you're living correctly, or morally, or rightly, having a brush with death will not change your outlook on anything.
It works.
You see that face of pure glee? Obadiah is so, like, disgustingly despicable, you know what I'm saying? Just the personification of narcissism and greed and, like, a lust for power and just avarice, you know? Disgusting.
Nice. You're of no benefit at all. Move down to the top. I got this. Okay, I'm sorry. Am I in your way? Up. Screw it. Don't even move. Alright, tragedy.
That's so funny. Bro talks exactly how I do. To, like, inanimate objects. I do that shit all the time.
Okay.
I mean, y'all have seen me apologize to my microphone. I don't know how many times.
I can fly. Jarvis, you there?
I actually think the Mark II looks so sexy. Like, with no, like, red and yellow and stuff. Like, just the pure silver looks so good. So good.
Hey, Tony. Remember me?
Sure don't.
Look great, Hef.
Stan the Man Lee. Yes, sir.
Who do you think locked you out? I was the one who filed the injunction against you.
The amount of, like, greed and ego behind that, you know? Not only because he's just some greedy, shitty businessman, like where Tony is quite literally the brains and the face of the entire company. Like, the ego to vote him out and like deal shit like this is just insane. But again, that's, you know, that's the parallel between Tony and Obadiah. Obadiah is quite literally the future of Tony Stark had he not gone through this entire transformation. So, well and truly a fantastic villain. Bro, you see that face? That's a man on a mission, dude. My God. I always hated this scene so much. It's so awful to watch, man. Bro, the sounds. I'm gonna bust a nut. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, fuck him up. Fuck him up. I love that right there. Almost like a Western draw. That's so awesome. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, it's beautiful. Justice. You know what I'm saying?
He's all yours.
Love that. God, I miss the scratches on the armor, dude. Because, like, Tony, when he gets later in, like, Endgame and Infinity War and stuff, like, his suit just barely gets damaged, you know what I mean? Gets out of vibranium and nanotech and all this stuff. There's just something so gripping about seeing all of the damage on the suit. Like, it just feels so tangible and real, you know?
Let's face it, this is not the worst thing you've caught me doing.
Are those bullet holes?
What was that Star Wars ass transition? I didn't realize that was there. That was funny. Just fucking screen wiped. Uh-oh. Never trust bald guys. Exhibit A.
Here's the next mission. And nothing else.
Is that so? Well, then I quit.
No, I really do love Pepper. Like, I'm really glad she's not just, like, a stupid story device in this. Like, she does genuinely have her own agency and, like, thoughts, which I really enjoy. Because a lot of other movies just do with their female counterparts, making them just, like, the damsel. Or just a story beat, like, not having any actual substance to their character, whereas Pepper actually does.
I just finally know what I have to do. And I know in my heart that it's right.
What a line. That almost made me tear up. So beautiful. So beautiful. I love how this is like Stark Industries and this like computer system, like this OS looks so fucking old. Like that looks so bad. Looks like some shit from the 90s, dude. And this is like, I know it's technically 2008, but I mean, this Tony Stark's got fucking holograms and shit. You're telling me the OS they use couldn't be better?
Tony Stark was able to build this in a cave with a box of scraps.
Well, I'm sorry.
I'm not Tony Stark. That's the most him line if there ever was. If there is one line that says I'm him, that was it right there. God, what an iconic statement.
This is your ninth symphony. Ah, what a masterpiece.
Love the camera work on that too, man.
This is your legacy.
The entire time it's on like a diagonal, and you don't even realize until he sits down and it goes back to regular. It's awesome.
Too bad you had to involve Pepper in this. I would have preferred that she lived.
Man, even his acting while he's like in paralysis, so he can't actually move, but conveys so much with his eyes. So good. Now every time I see that stupid fucking arc reactor that says proof Tony Stark has a heart, it just reminds me of Endgame when it's floating on the water after he's dead. That thing is fucking massive. Almost as big as his ego.
You need me to do anything else?
Keep the skies clear.
Next time, baby. Ain't no next time for you, Mr. Howard, because you wanted more money and they said get the fuck out of here. Bro just reminds me of the Hulk like this, man.
Lady!
You've upgraded your armor. I've made some upgrades of my own.
I love how it like shoots off like a rocket. Just because it's got so much more weight and power.
How'd you solve the icing problem?
Icing problem.
Might want to look into it.
Would that not be like the equivalent of like a 5-ton bomb hitting the ground? Because like he's not gonna be able to catch himself. Would that like from that high of an altitude, would the shock impact not like just destroy in a like a massive amount of shit? Like you saw how much effort it took to get off the ground. No fucking shot. He catches himself.
I gotta get out of this thing. I'll be right there.
Or okay, I guess. Never mind. He just opened up a fucking wormhole. God dang.
You know, if I were Iron Man,
They're
I'd
so
have
cute,
this
dog.
girlfriend who knew my true identity. She'd be a wreck. She'd always be worrying that I was going to die, yet so proud of the man I'd become. She'd be... Why?
Clearly, with this laundry list of character defects, all the mistakes I made, largely public. Truth is, I am Iron Man.
What a perfect ending. Such a perfect ending. Does it get any better than that? Well and truly. Can it really ever get better than that? You know what I'm saying? Just, goddamn. I'm not sitting here through the end credits. I've seen them God knows how many times, and all the movies are fucking later. I don't need to see the end credits again. Don't bum 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 bum. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is there to say about this movie that hasn't been said? You know what I'm saying? It birthed the MCU itself. They rolled the dice hard with Iron Man being the first one and RDJ playing him, okay? For multiple reasons, right? We know RDJ's past and what he went through, and then this being the first movie to get him back in the limelight, they really took a chance. And he is, you know, his entire story of who he is as a person and where he started, where he ended up, where he is now is beautiful. You know, we all love him. And they took a huge chance with him being Iron Man. But on top of that, they took a huge chance with Iron Man being the first installment to this universe. You have to understand, before this movie came out, Iron Man was a C-list comic book character. His comics did not sell that much. If you tried to talk about him, most people wouldn't know him. You know what I mean? Like, to be an A-list comic book character, people that don't read comics need to know about you, where you go, right? Captain America, Superman, Batman, Spider-Man, Wolverine, Hulk, The Thing. These are A-list characters. To where you could say Spider-Man and, like, before the MCU came out, I'm talking about. You could say it in the 90s, whatever. You could say these characters, people would know about them, right? The general audiences would know about these characters without having seen movies or anything like that, just because they're so ingrained in pop culture and hearing the names and blah, 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 right? Those are A-list characters. Then you have your B-list characters, which, you know, could have been, like, Black Panther, The Flash, Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman might be A-list, but I think at the time she was more B-list. You know, Wonder Woman could be in there. Maybe Aquaman, maybe Cyborg because of the Teen Titans. But regardless, right? You have your B-list. Iron Man was definitely a C-list verging on B-list, right? Not a lot of people knew his character. He wasn't very big. Yes, he was a part of the Avengers and the original Avengers. Yes, he was created a long time ago, but that doesn't make him an A-list character. A lot of people just didn't know about him. His comics didn't sell that much. Like, his singular run stuff, like, really didn't sell a lot. He was mainly known for being in the Avengers runs. So he was, you know, he was C-list, B-list, and then this movie came out. Motherfucker, shout out to A-list. You know what I mean? This is what started it. And I think it has largely to do not only with the writing of this movie and how great the movie is, but obviously with RDJ's portrayal of Tony Stark is just delicio. But this started something insane where instead of, you know, RDJ's portrayal of Tony Stark being comic book Tony Stark, it changed the trajectory of comic book Tony Stark. So now both how Tony Stark is drawn, how he's written, how he acts, a lot of after RDJ is highly influenced by his portrayal of the character. The same thing can be said for Samuel L. Jackson's Nick Fury. You know, like, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but Nick Fury used to be a white guy with the eye patch. It wasn't a black dude, it was a white dude. And then Samuel L. Jackson, like I believe it was the Ultimate Marvel Comics run, that asked Samuel L. Jackson if they were like, can we use your presence, you as an individual, can we draw Nick Fury like you? And Nick Fury was like, and Samuel L. Jackson was like, yeah, if I get to play the motherfucker. And then, you know what I'm saying, we got him as Nick Fury, and then it changed from there. So now when you see Nick Fury in comics, he looks like Samuel L. Jackson. Whereas if you read any of the comics, like before the MCU, he's a white dude with brown, whitish hair and an eye patch. You know, if you read the Fantastic Four, the Punisher, Iron Man, the Avengers, you see Nick Fury, he's a white dude. So this really changed the course of comic books so much. So this movie has done amazing things. And watching it again, it's such a good movie. Such a good movie. And I'm so happy I get to watch it. Like, there is no, for me at least, there's no rose-tinted glasses on this one. Like, I can confidently say it's just genuinely a good movie. It has great direction. It's got great writing, a great script, great music, great acting, fantastic action, you know. It's got some good cinematography as well. Like, just everything hits it on the head perfectly. Amazing casting, right? Gwyneth Paltrow's Pepper Potts. I think his name's Jeff Bridges as Obadiah Stane, and then Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark. Of course, we had Terrence Howard as Rhodey, and he didn't stay. But we get Don Cheadle as Rhodey, and he's amazing, so you can't complain about that. Then we have the brother who plays Phil Coulson. He's amazing as well. Can't complain about that either. So, like, just everything in this movie just worked perfectly. It really did. It's amazing. And, you know, the one thing I love the most is that the humor stands up. You know, I've seen this movie so many times that I know the words to the movie, but the humor is still funny to me, right? There's still times, just because I love it so much, I'll still laugh, but, like, I know that as we get further down the line in the MCU, it's not going to remain that way, right? I'm going to see the jokes and I'm going to cringe, probably, because the humor just doesn't last after one movie, after one viewing. And I think, you know, for a testament to humor being good, it's got to last more than one watch, for sure, you know? So, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, this movie's just expertly written. It's fantastic. You gotta love it. You really, really do. Started everything. Such a great movie. Such a great movie. I think, as always, I think for this entire watch of the MCU, I think I'm just gonna constantly, you know, try and implore people to read the comics. I think you'll find yourself enjoying them a lot. At least, you know, personally, I do. You know, I have a tremendous amount of them. I have a little bit too much of them, for sure. But I think you'll find yourself really enjoying them. And if you love these characters, like, you just should. Because why wouldn't you want more stories and, you know, more information about the characters that you fall in love with from these movies? I think the same goes for any movie or TV show that has books or, like, is adapted from books, is you should read the books. And, like, not just because the people say the books are better. The books are always going to be better. Always. The movie just doesn't have the time to flesh out as much as the books do, right? The books are 300, 400, 500, 600 pages. A movie is 2 hours, right? It doesn't have the time to do this. So the books are always going to be better. But I look at it more as, like, if you enjoyed the movie and you liked the characters, why wouldn't you want more stories about the characters that you love, right? Like, if you liked Harry Potter, why wouldn't you want to live more in the world and read the books as well? You get so much more. If you like Iron Man, why wouldn't you want to read the stories and get so much more from Iron Man? Like, why wouldn't you? You know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of people should read the comics. I think you'll like them. Don't you know, scoff at them because they have pictures in it or whatever the fuck. I think that's super stupid and elitist. It's like the same people who say the thing with, like, cartoon movies being for kids only, as if to say, you know, like, you can't have phenomenal movies that are animated, right? Like Into the Spider-Verse is fantastic. Or even if you want to see it, like, all the Disney and Pixar movies, right? Like Toy Story. All the Disney Pixar movies are a perfect example of that, where they can be quote unquote made for kids, but have so much messaging throughout for adults watching that you can appreciate it as well. And the same goes for comics and manga, right? Same thing. Just because it has pictures does not make it for kids. I promise you, there is a plethora of comics that kids should not be reading, all right? Have you ever heard of Punisher Max? Kids shouldn't read that, that's for sure, right? So, like, there's, or Berserk, right? That's manga. Kids shouldn't read that either. So, like, there are plenty of comics and manga that are not aimed at children, okay? And there's just so many themes and things written throughout it that you have to be an adult to appreciate, which is what I get from this movie too, right? Like I said, the first time I watched this, I was 7. It came out in 2008, but I believe it came out in the summer of 2008, so I wouldn't have turned 8 yet. Yeah, my birthday's in the fall, so I would have turned 8 later, if I remember correctly. I don't remember when it came out, but I feel like it was this summer or something. I don't know. But yeah, I saw it in Montreal when I went to go visit my family. I watched it with my uncle. It was just me and him that went, and it was one of the best experiences I think I've ever had. I remember walking out of that theater a changed man. I may have been 7 and I wasn't a man yet, but I was a changed man when I left that theater, okay? I was changed. All right, I remember walking out of that feeling just so badass and motivated, as you do when you watch a movie, right? You go and watch fucking John Wick, you walk out and you're like, I could kill some motherfuckers right now. You know what I mean? Like, that's how you feel. That's how I felt watching this, obviously. But I think the major thing, it's the same with when I watch any DC movies. It's like, this is my whole life. It's my childhood. You know, I fell in love with comics and these characters literally at the age of 1 is when I fell in love with superhero stuff. So watching these movies be put to screen is just awesome. And then you've got to the point now where people no longer get made fun of for liking it. Like when I was a kid, still wasn't cool to like this stuff. You know, people got bullied or you kind of got ostracized and you were on the outside if you were into these things. Like I didn't have that many friends that were as into games or comics and stuff like that, where people still got made fun of for that kind of thing. But now it's cool. Like when I was in high school, you know, everybody was talking about Marvel. You know, the Infinity War trailer dropped and everybody was watching it at lunch and we were all gossiping about it. You know, like now it's cool. I remember a time when it wasn't, but now it is, which is awesome. And it really started from this point. So, fantastic movie. I loved it. I can't imagine anyone who doesn't. It's a great movie. You know what I mean? It's a great movie. How can you not love this movie? But anyway, that's about it for me. I don't got much else to say. I'll catch y'all next time. Later. Hey guys, thank you all for watching that recent video, and I just want to give a special shout out to Oko Canutilla. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I'm really sorry if I'm not, but just want to give a special shout out to you. You've been subscribed to my tier 1 on Patreon for a while now, and I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for the support. Love you guys.